Abimbola Olashore was one of Nigeria's most distinguished bankers, entrepreneurs, and financial thinkers, whose life and career developed during periods when Nigeria faced significant social, economic, and institutional decline. Since the post-independence era, the country has struggled with recurring challenges such as corruption, weak governance, economic instability, and the erosion of professional and public institutions. Within this environment, often described by analysts as a period of national decadence, many sectors experienced declining standards of accountability and leadership. Against this backdrop, Olashore emerged as a remarkable example of disciplined professionalism and ethical leadership. Educated in Nigeria and abroad, he initially trained as an engineer in the United Kingdom before eventually discovering his true professional calling in accountancy and financial services. After returning to Nigeria, he joined the global professional services firm Deloitte, where he began his career in accounting. His intellectual rigor and commitment to excellence quickly distinguished him, and he became a multiple prize winner in the examinations of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN. Over the decades, Olashore became widely respected for promoting sound financial management, responsible corporate governance, and long-term institutional development at a time when such values were often undermined by systemic challenges in the Nigerian environment. His contributions to banking, consulting, and education reflected a belief that national progress must be driven by integrity, competence, and visionary leadership. These experiences and reflections are carefully chronicled in his book My Journey, where he narrates the personal and professional path that shaped his life. In the book, Olashore does more than recount his achievements. He offers insights into the struggles, decisions, and lessons that defined his career within the broader Nigerian context. The book My Journey, therefore, serves not only as a memoir, but also as a reflective account of leadership, resilience, and ethical commitment in a nation navigating the challenges of institutional decline. Ultimately, the book presents Olashore's life as both a personal narrative and a broader commentary on Nigeria's development, encouraging younger generations to pursue excellence, integrity, and purposeful leadership, even in difficult national circumstances like Nigeria. Stay tuned as the book itself is reviewed by Harvard PhD holder Dr. Dorcas Iwijobi and a renowned professional.
So the book, My Journey,
I thought it was great.
yeah, I feel the same thing. I feel, what age group would you think the book should be recommended for?
I think parents and the future generation, because
Yeah.
I think it's changing a lot.
I feel the same way. I know that it's a good book for the younger generation to learn,
Yes.
and it would help them in their career path. It would also help teachers not to be myopic and streamlined in their advice of younger generation, and having the right knowledge to direct them in the right path.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a good book for educationists, it's a good book for mentors, it's a good book for teenagers, parents.
But I also found it different, very interesting for myself because I don't come from that culture.
Oh yeah,
So
nice.
I found it very interesting.
Because it's a different culture than what
Correct.
you're used to.
Yes, where he felt like the need to get into that specific field and didn't follow his dreams.
Yeah.
So.
From back home, it's something we're kind of like used to, because you're born into that ideology and that mindset and belief that when you're good in some science subjects, every parent, every teacher expects you to become a doctor. It's interesting, it's funny. how there are other disciplines and careers that actually make more money
Right.
than these set people.
But we found that, after he did follow his dreams and enjoy his
Yes.
job, that it was worth it. At the
Yeah,
end.
he was able to achieve
Exactly.
greater success with
Yep.
all sorts of
And happiness in
awards.
his life.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So the book actually preaches you following your passion.
Yes.
Like, what's your passion?
Exactly.
Follow it. Hi, hello everyone. I am Dr. Dorcas Irunwoluwa-Iwejobi, a graduate of Harvard University, and I'm joined today with...
Hi, my name is Joanne Tusplan, and I'm a director of an operating room here in Boston.
We're going to be doing an in-depth review of the autobiography titled My Journey, written by Abimbola Olashore. When I was reading the book, I saw that the author combines the elements of memoirs, leadership, philosophy, and reflective prose. Do you think that autobiography is something that we need in our present world?
I think we do, because being an American and reading about this gentleman that lived and grew up in Nigeria, I was able to learn some of the cultural differences of how his family life was, and where you are pushed as a young child into a direction that you may or may not want to be in, based on your skill level.
That's great. So that means that this book is a good book for internationals to pick up.
Yes, it
If
is.
they want to find out more about Nigeria, the culture.
Yes, I think so.
Upbringing.
Yes.
So that brings me to the style in which the book was written. It was written in chronological order. The beginning chapters started with the early life of the author before he then progressed to his school life, before he traveled out of the country, and then changed his career. Now, that's another thing we need to look at.
Yes.
He started off studying engineering, electrical engineering.
Yes.
In United Kingdom.
Yes.
And that was because the society.
Correct. He was good in mathematics and sciences, but didn't like biology, so he didn't want to be in medicine. So he said, okay, where the other place to go is engineering.
Interesting how
It is.
parents enforce certain things on children. You said that's not in your culture.
Correct. We don't do that in the United States. We're always follow your dream. If it makes you happy, go and do it.
No. In Nigeria, no parents will want you to follow your dream.
Yes.
Like, parents want you to either be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. You don't wake up and say you want to be a musician or stuff like that. No.
Yep, that's true.
I think being an accountant back then too wasn't something parents would easily encourage their kids to
No.
be. But then this gentleman who wrote his biography and memoir spoke about how he started excelling and he was rising and he started shining when he decided to go into accounting. In fact, he spoke about how he sold away his engineering books the same day he graduated.
Yes.
Meaning he was like, oh, I've done what they want me to do.
Well, he was, oh, thank goodness this is over
it's
with.
over.
I think if you follow the passion in something that you like, you will excel. And that's what this book shows that.
Yes.
He went from, I did this for somebody else, and then found what he liked, followed his own, and excelled well, was happier. It's the way to go.
Yeah, see the way he won so many awards
Yes.
and scholarships, and when he wrote his ICANN exam, he excelled brilliantly. So the author actually encourages young people to follow their passion. Like, enough of teachers and parents and mentors trying to push younger ones to do certain things, to streamline them, to say, oh, this is what we expect of you.
Right.
Why not just let them do what they are passionate about? And it's also a call to the younger generation to seek to discover themselves.
Correct. And I think that's what this guy shows
That's
us.
what the author is trying
He
to
does.
say. Now, going down to the core themes in the book, when I was reading it, I noticed the theme of resilience. They also faced so many setbacks in life, but he was able to stand strong and still scale through. That's something our younger generation do not have.
Yes.
But like with this author, his upbringing, his family background and everything that was instilled in him helped him to be stronger in life when he was alone, having to travel out of his home country.
Well, I was going to say that. He left. It's one thing to be home with your parents, and if you have issues, mom and dad are there.
Yes.
He left to a totally different country where he didn't have that support system.
Yeah,
So it's
but
different.
He was able to then take a stand. It was out there that he discovered his passion. It was when he was out of the country. That was when he was able to discover his passion and realize, oh, I love accounting. This is something I want to do. So sometimes it's setbacks are good.
Yes.
Because with this guy, his setback helped him to be able to advance better and make better decisions for himself. Right. Another thing we noticed, another core theme in the book is leadership as service. So Abimbola Olashore not only scaled through resilience and setbacks, he became a leader, an icon in his field. So sometimes when we go through the boiling water, it's to make us come out tougher and harder. And the author has done a great thing by not just writing his memoirs, but also teaching the younger generation, like, these are the things that I have learned in life. These are the mistakes that I have made. This is something, do not make the same mistakes that I've made. That's something a good father would like.
But don't you think his background of being a Christian helped him get there?
Yeah, I think so. I was coming to that. That's also one of the things I noticed in the book, the religious theme and the ethical background. His parents were upright. He came from a good background, a good family background, a good cultural background. His religious beliefs helped him in forming his ethics. He helped him in forming what he eventually turned out to be in life, like an icon, a celebrity, someone everybody now looks up to.
It's not a how-to book. It's my life, but like, let me show you how I accomplished what I did, and then how you can do it.
How you can do it is like teaching the younger ones, giving them the tools necessary for them to succeed.
I think it's almost allowing them to be able to, get a voice, so that if you are being, pushed to go towards this way, it's okay to say, hey, you know what? I really would prefer this, and being able to maybe help guide that.
That's great, yeah. And then finally, what would a literary review be if we don't have any criticism and we didn't know anything that we feel can be done better? Well, I pride myself as a literary critic to always be able to pick up a few things that I feel the author can do better. And so one of the critical observations I made is that occasionally the book prioritizes reflection over narrative drama. So the author was more reflective in his memoirs. He reflected so much about his background, I probably shouldn't have done this, but I did that. I shouldn't have done this, but I did that. And the tone seemed more contemplative rather than dramatic. So as a literary person, if I was going to pick it as a literary text in school, it probably does not fully do justice to all the literary themes that I might be looking for, because it's more of a contemplative thing. It's somebody saying, maybe I shouldn't, but I did. Maybe I shouldn't. It's not as assertive as I would have wanted it to be. But then again, looking at it, that also adds to the authenticity.
Well, it's realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely, who has not sat there and said, should I not?
Yeah.
So, you're seeing it. He was brave enough to put it in writing.
Yeah.
So I have to give him that.
So not really a bad thing if you look at it. That also makes the book really authentic. It truly adds to the voice and the tone, the didactic tone of the author trying to explain to us all his life journey. Big from this book is that many young people will now say the government is corrupt, Nigeria is bad, nothing is working.
That's true.
Now, looking at this man, Abimbola Olashore, he's a Nigerian. He thrived in Nigeria. He came back to Nigeria. He's excelling in the banking industry.
Right, where it's like the Naira keeps going down.
Like, it's interesting. I think it's really surprising how someone can actually come out from this kind of background and is still excelling. He's not a local champion. He's a world celebrity, a renowned author today. A top bank personnel who has been able to make a name for himself.
Correct.
So this is a message to the younger Nigerians. You don't have an excuse. You really do not have an excuse.
You have to get out there and hustle and make it work.
Make it work. If Abimbola Olashore could make it work,
anybody
despite
can.
everything going on, anybody can. So you can.
Yes.